Welcome back to Off the Desk. I'm Stacey Engebretson. I want to bring in a special guest here today. This is Chief Paul Granger. He is with the Mishicot Police Department. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Steve.
What brings you in today is you have a Sextortion Awareness Community event coming up on Wednesday, March 18th. We will get to all the details of the event. But first, I'd like to talk about why you feel that there is a need to host an informational session like this. I mean, you've had cases locally of sextortion.
We have. Sextortion is one of the fastest growing crimes targeting our teenagers today. It's happening in communities just like ours, large and small. In many cases, teenagers will meet someone online that they believe is another teen. Within minutes, they're being manipulated into sending a private image, and then suddenly they're being threatened and told to send money, or the image will be sent to their family and their friends. Tragically, some young people, they just feel so trapped in that moment that they don't have a way out. And that's why education and awareness is so important. Once parents and our youth understand how these scams work, the criminals lose their power. In many cases, a victim won't talk to anybody. They're embarrassed. They're terrified that their parents will find out or that the images will be shared at school. The criminals know this, and they use that fear to keep the victims silent. Unfortunately, it's that silence that makes the situation feel overwhelming for that person. Across the country, throughout Wisconsin, including our small towns and villages, we have seen heartbreaking cases where teenagers feel like their life is over because of these threats. Some young people have taken their own lives because they just feel trapped and they're not aware of the amount of people and the amount of resources that are available to help them.
Right. As time goes on, as you mentioned, this is becoming more and more popular. Therefore, there are more and more resources becoming available and events like the one that you're going to be holding. Warning signs, red flags, what should people be looking for?
As a parent or as a child?
Both.
So as a parent, just general behavioral changes, something that maybe grabs your attention. Are they becoming more short-tempered or losing their patience with things? Do they seem easier to snap as though something's really under their skin? Money, do they have a job, but now they're constantly out of money where they used to be responsible with it, and now they're needing to ask for money more frequently? Becoming more private, maybe over their digital content, their phones or other social media and things like that. And for, the potential victims, just be cautious anytime that you are meeting people online, whether that's through a gaming system, a social media platform. So many people out there are not who they appear to be. And the people that pull these scams off, they're skilled. They're excellent at manipulation, creating fake profiles to make you believe they are someone else. They can manipulate you emotionally. And once they get you where they want you, they're going to turn on you and they're going to try to exploit that.
And really, we mentioned teens, but anybody can fall victim to this.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, just even locally, we've had a case in the past with the Mishicot Police Department where we had a victim that was in their mid-30s. So anybody is susceptible. Absolutely.
When we talk about resources and, how we can protect ourselves, what is available to people?
As far as the resource organizations, there are so many that if you even just did an internet search on I need help with this, you're going to find so many. I can tell you what we have coming to our event, and I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm gonna read off of a list here. But these will be the resource organizations at our event. We have the Wisconsin Department of Justice, their victim resource staff will be there. Encourage, UMOS, Five Stones, Lakeshore Child Advocacy Center, Just Talk to Them, 988 Wisconsin Lifeline, and Youth Services by Foundations. And this is just some of the resources that are available to you locally and regionally, and there's far more than that out there. And the police will always help you locate those services. So if you contact law enforcement, we can have that conversation and help get you the type of help that you would need.
And coming up, our conversation with Chief Granger continues. We discuss how they track down and prosecute these predators, plus more details on the department's upcoming Sextortion Awareness Community event when Off the Desk returns. Back. Before the break, Mishicot's police chief discussed how sextortion cases are on the rise here in Northeast Wisconsin. He also mentioned warning signs for parents and teens and resources to get help. Now we dive into how they find these criminals and hold them accountable.
You know, we live in a wonderful country where our law enforcement partners on all different levels, federal, state, and local, we work exceptionally well together, especially when it comes to protecting our youth. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, but all of those agencies are dedicated to seeing that through regardless of what it takes. So when you come to us, you're going to get everything within our capabilities to find these people and hold them.
When they're found, they're arrested, they go through the legal system, and they're convicted. What type of punishment could these criminals face? This is a serious offense.
These would be felony offenses punishable by, many years in prison. Absolutely.
For those that you've dealt with who have come forward and said, this happened to me, and as you mentioned, sometimes there's that barrier of embarrassment, fear, those types of things. Once they come forward and explain what happened, and they know that there are people on their side, they must have just a great sense of relief.
I believe so. It's the silence. So whatever you do, if you find yourself becoming a victim to this, sitting in your own silence is the worst absolute thing that you can do. So just having those conversations, whether that's with a trusted adult, a trusted person, going to law enforcement, reaching out to one of these resource organizations, that hopelessness, that feeling of despair dissipates, and you find comfort in being able to talk about it and realizing that we're going to help you.
So let's get back to the event, and I'll bring up the information here on the screen so people can take note. You have a nice breakdown here, and if you would just tell us, I know you mentioned the organizations that will be at this event. What will people hear and learn while they're there? Again, it is on March 18th, which is a Wednesday from 5 until 8 p.m.
Sure. First, I want to start off with, we mentioned pre-registration available on there. That's just to help us give us a head count of what to expect for. Registration is certainly not mandatory, and when you arrive, there is no registration table. You're not providing your name. We want people to feel comfortable and everybody to feel welcome. So we're going to have free food available beginning at 5. That'll go on from 5 to 6. You can show up at any time throughout that. We'll have the resource tables available that you can have some face-to-face conversations with. At 6:15, John DeMay, our keynote speaker, is going to share his story. It's a very powerful, raw story that he's going to share. His son committed suicide as a victim of sextortion, and he's going to discuss how that unfolded, the investigative process that went on throughout that, and leading up to the arrest of the people responsible for his son's death. Once that's completed, we're going to have a panel of law enforcement investigators and a victim resource advocate do question and answer for the audience. I'm anticipating a large crowd, so I know we're not going to get to everybody's questions. So I'm putting something in place where we can solicit these questions from you, from our attendees, and then get answers posted online somewhere to all the things that we were unable to answer at the time. Once the question and answer panel is done, at about 8 p.m., we'll start drawing for door prizes. So every attendee is going to be entered in for door prizes. And we have some significant donations from, trying to go off our lists off the top of my head, but I think there's a turkey gun, fishing charters, rods and reels. We have a lot of really generous donors that will be acknowledged at that event as well. So I encourage the youth, the parents to come attend this event, ask questions, and make use of the resources that will be available to them.
Great. Arming the community with information so they don't fall victim, or if they are in that situation, you can connect them with help.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Chief, for stopping by. We do appreciate it. And this is a very important conversation. And as you mentioned, it's on the rise. So it's important to get the word out.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you. And stay with us. There's much more Off the Desk to come.